Welcome to the Woodpreneur podcast, the number one podcast for the business and marketing side of the lumber, woodworking, hardwood flooring, and sawmill industry. I'm your host, Steve from Acres of Timber. Each week, we feature various wood business owners and entrepreneurs from around the globe. We share their stories, paths, insights so that you can network, learn, and grow your own wood business. Thank you so much for listening. Now enjoy the episode. The Woodpreneur podcast is proudly sponsored by Energy, an ERP software for custom mill workshops. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Steve. Today's guest is Bridgette and Dillon from Farmhouse Woodworking. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you, Steve? Thanks for having me.
I love a couple woodpreneurs. I just love two people on a podcast. So thank you for joining.
It's a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1 deal. So could you tell us a little bit about your business, your origin story?
Yeah. So my dad was a contractor growing up, so I was always exposed to the woodworking life. I went into engineering through college and did that for a little bit and just found our passion when we bought our house and started kind of DIYing some home renovations.
Yeah.
We just kind of grew our business from there. It was kind of slow to start, but it picked up pretty quick.
Cool.
And
Very cool.
I fell in love with it.
Awesome. And how'd you enter the business, Dillon?
Well, we started dating, I think it was like in 2019. And like she kind of said, we just started building things together for our own house. And we kind of loved how we were a great team. We worked really well together. And we really liked what we were making. And then some of our friends started reaching out and they're like, hey, I love that. Could you build that for us? And
yeah,
we started realizing people wanted this stuff that we were making and we loved doing it. So we were like, man, I don't know if I really want to be doing our other jobs. This is way more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you first start making for folks to sell?
We did a couple of barn doors at our own house. And then I think our first job for somebody else was a family friend. And she had like 4 or 5 barn doors that she wanted in her house. So that was the first one that we started with. And we mostly started with the doors. And then we kind of branched out into some other things, some tables and vanities. And what else have we done?
Shelving,
Mantles,
floating shelves.
And so this is what you guys do full time right now?
Yeah.
How'd you tell us this story about how'd you quit your jobs to do this full time? Can you walk us through that path?
Yeah. Like I said, I was in engineering. I was medical device engineering, and it wasn't for me. And I realized that I loved doing the woodworking a lot more, and our business was growing, and we wanted to spend more than just our weekends doing it. So I took the leap of faith first.
Okay.
Yeah. I quit my job and it was scary because I didn't really have a backup plan. I mean, he was a teacher, so he still had his job, but teacher salary. So
Sure.
But yeah, I started out by just starting on our website and kind of growing that in our Instagram first. And while he was still teaching, and then we'd still do the woodworking on the weekends and after school. And then I think it was last year.
Yeah.
He finally quit his job.
Yeah. And I ended up quitting because we were getting more successful. And
it was costing you more money to stay at the job than
And like she said, I had a teacher salary. So I honestly figured we could make more doing woodworking full time than me teaching and she's in the shop. So
because there's a lot that I can't do. I mean,
Sure.
I'm pretty tiny. I can't lift these barn doors
she's
by
pretty
myself.
good. Oh, she does anyway, though.
Wow. And so when you quit your job, Bridgette, did you rely on savings or did you have jobs ready to
We kind of had jobs ready. We had a little bit of saving, but I mean, it wasn't a lot. And then luckily, Dillon's family is in the area and they're very supportive. So they also supported us all the way, including our jobs. And my family's back in Sacramento and they were super supportive too.
Yeah. It's good to have a support system. right? Like
Yeah.
it's good to have people like, go ahead, you can do this. Like,
Yeah.
and it must feel good to be in business with your partner too, right? Your life partner.
Oh, yeah.
So you last year, and when did you quit, Bridget?
I think it was 2020. It was right like shortly after
Pandemic.
COVID hit.
Did people think that you're crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, what is this that you're doing? Like, what? You're just staying home and
Yeah. Working. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a good year to do it, right? There's a lot of people were home fixing stuff. So what was that first moment where you realized like, oh, this is the thing that we were meant to be doing? Do you remember that? Was it a project? Was it a particular story or, someone that you met?
I don't know.
Gosh.
We've done so many projects, it's hard to look back.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Or
we
your
did
biggest project?
I would say probably the ones that stand out to me were we did a barn door for our bedroom and we loved it. I mean, we used it every day, obviously. It was super functional.
Mhm.
It was something that we enjoyed. And
Yeah.
then we also did like a pet gate downstairs in our room,
Yeah.
in the living room, because we had a bunch
Yeah.
of dogs. And it was made out of like old
Pallet
pallet
wood.
wood, but it still
Mhm.
looked so cool.
Yeah.
And it was functional again. We used it every day. So we were like, wow, we made that. We love it. My parents love it. And it was kind of like from
Everybody
there,
that
we were
comes
like,
over loves it.
Yeah.
and we had
Yeah.
no idea what we were doing. Like we really didn't. We just loved what we were doing. So we wanted to learn and get better at it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And the passion kind of just took us. Like from the first thing we made, we've just wanted to get better and better and better.
Mhm. Mhm. That's fascinating. How do you get most of your word out right now? Like, are most of your stuff local or is it all over California or national? Where are you getting
Pretty
the word out?
local in the Bay Area. We've gone as far as Fremont,
Mhm.
which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. But most of it is local to the Santa Cruz, Monterey area.
Okay. Okay. And how do people find you?
I would say mostly
Yeah, mostly
Instagram.
Instagram and word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of jobs for people that they refer us to their friends.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
And we've spent money on marketing. We haven't been like super successful. We've really only tried to market through like Instagram and Facebook.
Mhm.
But yeah, most of our stuff has just been either they find us naturally on our Instagram or they find us through a friend or a recommendation or something like that.
Yeah. 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 What product is the most profitable for you guys?
Definitely our barn doors.
You
and
have
we
a system for that, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've gotten more
you've
efficient
got it
with that.
dialed. Yeah.
Yeah. We just
Yeah.
picked up a new tool too, which is going to make it even faster. And so definitely the barn doors, we can crank those out and we've gotten much better at making them. I mean, I think we have a product now where they're really well made and there's not a lot of other people doing it around here.
Yep.
So I don't think we have a lot of competitors. There's definitely a couple, but we come out and install them too. And
Okay.
there's people looking online for barn doors. They don't get that installation. It just gets shipped out to them. So we kind of
Sure.
provide both, which I think is something that provides a lot of value to customers.
For
and
sure.
people that-
For sure. For sure. What do you have on tap for this year? What do you want to move into, get into?
We've got a couple on the books already. We have this huge, like, built-in fireplace thing that we've never done before. So that'll be a fun one. It's like a gas fireplace, and we're building a huge surround for it.
Mhm.
with like shiplap and some bench
Shiplap,
seating on
benching.
each side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we've got some more mantles and more doors. We have an extendable dining table, which is going to be a first for us. So yeah, we're excited to kind of take on some new projects and see how our business can expand more.
Sure. Sure. What's the one thing that you know now that you didn't know when you first quit your jobs and went into this?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. What was a big surprise for you, like about being a full-time woodpreneur?
I guess it's maybe just that there's so much to it. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're going to be learning forever.
Constantly.
Like
Yeah.
you start out and you think, oh man, I got this. Like we know how to do this. We can do this, and we know these techniques, but there's so much to woodworking. It really does take quite a
Yeah.
long time to learn all the techniques and learn about all the different woods. So maybe just like the vast amount of stuff there is to learn about woodworking.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes that we make,
Oh, yeah.
and then we learn from those mistakes. And my dad always said it's not like the final product and how perfect it looks. It's how well you fix the mistakes along the way.
Yeah. What are you sourcing your material? Is it barnwood or is it plywood, pallet wood? Like, what are you using?
We do have a couple different sources that we do. We rarely use like pine or pallet wood anymore. We started out doing some of that, but we don't use it often.
Yeah.
We go to a place in Santa Cruz called Hardwoods. It's just
Okay.
called Hardwoods, but they've got a good selection. Their prices aren't super awesome, but they've got a good selection. And then
Sure.
there's another place in Sacramento that we go to because her parents live in Sacramento. And gosh, their prices are almost half the price as the place near us. So we'll pick up materials up there.
Is this the True Wood or the Urban Reuse place?
It's called Hughes Hardwoods up in
Oh, okay.
That place is awesome. I mean, shout out to them.
It's a family-owned business.
Family-owned business.
Sure.
They run a tight ship and they have everything you need. Their prices are amazing. So
You should check out the Sacramento Tree, Sac Tree.
Oh, I haven't been there.
Yeah, there's another, I'll remember when we're off the call, but there's another place and it's basically a nonprofit lumberyard.
Oh,
And
wow.
so their prices are, and they're in Sacramento.
Cool.
And I'll also hook you up with Danny at Deadwood Revival Design. So I don't think he's too far from you. And then there's another guy named Charles DeGree. And he's near you guys as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
you have options. So
We're always looking for options. Some
yeah,
chickens are slim around here.
yeah, for sure. What's been the most challenging part of running a business?
For me, it's definitely like the numbers and the websites and all the coding and all the computer stuff.
See, that's
I think
easy
is
for me.
challenging.
I could deal with all that, but the most challenging part for me is just the consistency in the jobs, like keeping them coming.
Yeah. And what has been your sort of active marketing technique?
Really just Instagram. Like we started last year, I think, with only 500 followers. And then there was a period of time where we were just like, let's post every single day. We'll post a reel, we'll make a reel. And we got up to 14,000 within a couple months.
Wow.
That's kind of just our main marketing from last year.
Yeah.
So we're looking to expand this year. We did look into like some mail ads, but they're pretty pricey. So I don't know if that's the route we want to go.
For sure. And so your main thing are barn doors. What's your second main thing that you sell a lot of?
I'd say shelving.
Yeah,
Shelving.
custom shelving, pantry shelving, or even a custom built-in shelving unit or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this is a part of the podcast where I give you any marketing or business advice. And so you just kind of look at it like a mini consulting session. And so tell me if there's any challenges that you are facing or things that you want an extra set of eyes on that I can help you with. Anything that you'd like to accomplish?
I think our website traffic is something that we've been looking into, and it's the SEO stuff that takes a lot of time and consideration.
What's your website?
farmhousewoodworking.com.
How did you nab that?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't
That's a pretty cool domain name.
I know. I was surprised that that was available.
Farmhouse Woodworking. Yeah, your doors are cool. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging and research for you. So
Get over from Wix to WordPress. So
you just did that?
whole new website, yeah. But we haven't done the SEO or anything.
That's a good call because I feel like a lot of people, they go to Wix and Squarespace because they're easy to build, but then the downside is it's just not search engine friendly. So do you think it's just website traffic that you'd like to increase? Is that what you like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an immediate goal is to just up that.
Okay.
And then obviously then it'd be like people filling out our forms and
Right.
For sure. Okay. So I guess one thing is I'm looking at your search engine analysis right now. So right now, in terms of, let's see, backlinks. So you don't have any so
yeah, we've done nothing.
So with your search engine, with your website, and just for everybody that's listening, the main things for search engine optimization and making sure that you can get higher ranked on your search engines it comes down to the relevancy of your content on your website as it relates to what people are searching for, right? And this is a really, really, really important thing. And so just to make sure that you do some research and the things that you want to be ranked for, make sure that it appears on your webpage, right?
Right.
And oftentimes a lot of people just tend to forget that, right? And they speak in generalities. And the biggest thing is, right, is making sure. So like you're in Santa Cruz, make sure that like Santa Cruz woodworking, Santa Cruz woodworker, Santa Cruz, like, and then you go from there to the county you're like Central Coast, California, right? And so like Central Coast. And so make sure that your relevant keywords are portrayed on your page. The next thing is blogging and making sure that you have a blog and that you're telling stories. And you're constantly telling stories, and whether it's like once or twice a month, and making sure that you're doing that. The third thing are backlinks. So backlinks are links from other credible websites to you. So you can do something like go to, Fiverr and find somebody to like blast you on backlinks, or you could do something like contact every major newspaper in your area, blog, design, magazine, whatever, and just say, hey, and if they have a directory, make sure that you're listed on the directory, right? Or, you know how on like local websites, they have articles, right? You can comment on those articles and make sure that you post and so those actually count as backlinks, right? So that's on the organic end. So there's like making sure that your page has enough keywords, because right now I'm looking on your webpage and you're only ranking for 14 keywords. You actually need to be ranking for like 800 to 1,000 keywords. Right?
Wow.
And then backlinks, you need like hundreds of backlinks, but it takes time, right? It takes time. But like one way that you can analyze is just like, I would look at, Santa Cruz woodworking, see who's ranked number 1, and then basically copy or beat them at their own game. Right. So like look to see, okay, how many keywords do they have? And you can search and then make sure that you beat them. How many people link to them and then beat them, right? If they're linked to someplace, beat them, right? Contact those same people. Like that's all you have to do. I love search engine optimization because it's just like such an easy thing. It's not easy, but it just takes a long time to do it. But it's formulaic. And then the last thing on the organic end is creating different landing pages for your different products.
Oh yeah.
But they don't have to be linked to your webpage, but they should be linked to your website. So, you know how you have your website and you have a bunch of menus with drop downs and stuff. These are specific pages so that if there's somebody searching for farmhouse doors or barn doors near me, there's a web page that's completely optimized and a landing page, and it looks like your thing, but they only found it through the search engines.
Let's see.
So if you have multiple pages, that also shows that you have authority and ranks it higher in the search engines. Okay. So that was just for the organic SEO stuff. What you can do to drive more traffic is you have a Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
Literally promote your web page on Facebook and do it at $5 a day or $10 a day, and draw a circle around your area in terms of targeting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get even more granular and just say, okay, look, who are the people that are buying barn doors? And I'm asking you, who are the people buying barn doors? Women or men?
Homeowners. Women mostly.
Mostly women, but yeah.
What age? 35 to 55.
Yeah, probably in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have families?
Yeah, mostly.
So families, kids, and you could target the area. Like Are they into, sports? Are they into DIY? Like, you can dictate who your ideal target audience is. And in your ad say, hi, looking for barn doors in near Santa Cruz? Come and check us out. And then they'll go to your way. That's a very quick way to just bring more traffic to your website. $5 or $10 a day and have it constantly run. It's part of your budget. You have to think about it like, because a lot of people are like, oh, I tried Instagram, I tried Facebook, and I didn't really work. It's because you weren't consistent. You just have to be consistent.
Yeah. That was us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. And then, do you have a mailing list?
We have a very small one. It's one that we kind of transferred over.
So one thing that I would do is I would go to your Instagram and your Facebook and your personal Facebook friends and say, hey, look, we're building up our mailing list. We're only going to send it out once a month on new barn door designs and table designs. If you are on our mailing list, you get 10 to 15% off automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Join our mailing list. If you scraped up, I bet you between your 14,000 people, you could probably scrape up 1,000 people to join your mailing list.
Oh,
and then you can upload those mailing lists people to your Facebook. This is next level ninja stuff. And then you can market to them. So that's what I would do to bring in more traffic. You do those things, you're going to double or triple your traffic in the next 3 to 6 months.
Wow. I can see that.
All right.
Very cool.
All right. Awesome.
Excited.
Any last bit of parting advice for the Woodpreneur community?
Don't be afraid to take the leap of faith.
Or try new things. I mean, experiment building things that you wouldn't normally try. I mean, we've done a lot of different projects, and honestly, we have a lot of failures where you make mistakes. So don't let mistakes discourage you. Learn from them and do better on the next project.
Awesome. Thank you, Dillon. Thank you, Bridgette. Really appreciate you having me on. And your Instagram is Farmhouse Woodworking and website Farmhouse Woodworking, right?
Yep.
Pretty simple. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. Thank you for being on.
Thanks so much for listening to the Woodpreneur Podcast, the #1 podcast for the business and marketing side of the lumber, woodworking, hardwood flooring, and sawmill industry. If you like what you heard, please give us a 5-star rating and review. You can also tap into our community by visiting woodpreneurlife.com. Once again, that's woodpreneurlife.com. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.